I should say I'm by no means a crypto expert. I'm not going to give you a lecture on blockchain or meme coins or any of that. I don't know, and B, I don't care. But I do think it's worth looking at this crypto thing a little bit, only because it is a deeply, deeply old-fashioned, simple scam at this point, which points right to the White House.
It is incredible to witness the historic steps being taken by the White House to position the U.S. as the global hub for crypto.
Welcome to the first ever White House Digital Assets Summit. Last year, I promised to make America the Bitcoin superpower of the world, and we're taking historic action to deliver on that promise.
Your administration is moving at tech speed.
We are going to keep the U.S. the dominant reserve currency in the world, and we will use stable coins to do that.
Technology is at the foundation of the Trump presidency.
This is truly a historic day, and as a crypto founder, I couldn't be more proud to be part of your administration.
No one in this room could have envisioned this just a couple years ago.
We want to stay at the forefront of everything. This is a big day. Being in the White House is a big deal, and you have great support. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
They are genuinely making significant strides for this industry. So why isn't Bitcoin's price increasing? Something suspicious is happening within the mainstream media that you need to be aware of. What I am about to reveal in this video, hit the like button, support the channel, because we must spread accurate information to counteract the coordinated attack currently being launched against Bitcoin and the White House's pro-crypto stance. Check this out. MSNBC and Rachel Maddow are doing everything possible to suppress the price of crypto.
I should say I'm by no means a crypto expert. I'm not going to give you a lecture on blockchain or meme coins or any of that. I don't know, and B, I don't care. But I do think it's worth looking at this crypto thing a little bit, only because it is a deeply, deeply old-fashioned, simple scam at this point, which points right to the White House. News from the White House tonight really gives us no choice. You have to look at it. Helpfully, the broad strokes of crypto trading are not complicated. It's like when there was the Beanie Baby craze in the late 90s. People started buying these stuffed animals, right? Beanie Babies, kind of inherently not worth much, but people were speculating on them, right? It was a Beanie Baby trading bubble. Other than maybe some emotional value if you had one as a child, Beanie Babies didn't have much inherent value, but it was worth buying up a bunch of them because there was speculation on the premise that as collectibles, maybe one day your Beanie Babies collection could be worth a lot of money. Cryptocurrencies operate on the same idea. They have no inherent value at all. The only value they have is if you have some reason to believe that somebody else might want to buy them from you in the future. That's it. And what that means in very practical terms is that convincing other people that your crypto is popular and in demand, convincing people that your crypto thing is going to have value in the future, it's going to be collectible as Beanie Babies, that is key to actually making money.
To be clear, Trump is not allocating any new tax dollars for this initiative. He is simply committing to safeguarding and retaining the billions of dollars in Bitcoin that the U.S. government already holds. I believe that is a wise decision. Additionally, he is pledging to establish fair crypto regulations and policies so that the crypto sector can flourish within the U.S. instead of being forced offshore like some companies we previously saw.
Are you hanging with Diddy? I think he's in there with you.
He is. I don't know, he's been kind.
And Rachel Maddow openly admits that she lacks any knowledge of this industry. Perhaps she should engage in real journalism and consult with actual leaders in the U.S. crypto sector to understand their perspectives, such as Coinbase's Brian Armstrong.
Brian Armstrong, Coinbase CEO here. The West Wing is right behind me. We just left the Digital Assets Summit at the White House. It was an incredible event, really a historic moment for our industry, and President Trump has breathed life back into the crypto industry. Coinbase is planning to hire about 1,000 people here in the United States this year as a direct result of his actions already in the first 60 days or so. So these policies really matter, and this is the most pro-crypto Congress we've ever seen as well. All of you all out there helped elect pro-crypto candidates with standwithcrypto.org and Fairshake, the super PAC out there, played a big role as well. So we're going to keep showing up, trying to be an educational resource, and see if we can get some legislation passed as a next step. There's already stablecoin legislation being drafted in the House and the Senate. There's a market structure legislation that'll help clarify which of these crypto assets are commodities, securities, payment tokens, or something else like artwork. And then I think we should get the strategic Bitcoin reserve that got announced last night codified into law too. So we're hoping Congress can work on that. Anyway, all of us can help as an industry to help show up and just appreciate President Trump's leadership here. I think the rest of the G20 are looking at America now on offense in this industry and will be likely to follow suit. So
while the price isn't surging just yet, it will. Be patient. Supply is diminishing as demand continues to grow. VanEck's Matthew Siegel outlines every reason why Trump's recent actions are a game changer for the crypto industry and why this will ultimately lead to major gains for crypto investors.
Holders. This is a huge deal because President Trump has laid down a path to the U.S. being a leader in Bitcoin and digital assets and ending the regulatory weaponization of the last 4 years that drove so many entrepreneurs offshore. So he's instructed his cabinet to explore all possible paths to adding to the government's existing 200,000 Bitcoin. And Treasury Secretary Bessent also said today that he will work with the IRS to rescind and revamp all of the tax guidance that the IRS has already put forward. So I think basically this does three things. It significantly lowers the risk of the U.S. government ever banning Bitcoin. And judging from my conversations with investors, people still worry about that. It also increases the likelihood that other nations will create Bitcoin reserves, and we're starting to see motion on that front. And then it makes it very challenging for institutions and agencies to label Bitcoin as unsafe or unsuitable, which still comes up. So this establishes Bitcoin in a separate category from other digital assets, and it opens room for Congress to start the process of crafting legislation on additional Bitcoin purchases, which could be a standalone bill like Senator Loomis has put forward, or it could be packaged into a reconciliation. And I think applying this revenue neutral condition removes the fear that this is going to be used, that taxpayer funds would be used to acquire Bitcoin. I think that's a very savvy thing. So it's a monumental milestone for the industry, and we think there's a good chance that it leads to the government buying Bitcoin over the next year.
A huge shout out to Trump and David Sachs over the coming year for making this all happen. Who remembers David Sachs dismantling similar Bitcoin fear-mongering on his own podcast years ago? It's remarkable how much progress has been made.
The thing that like all these like critics don't seem to understand is the technology. That's the common denominator, whether it's like Howard Marks or Warren Buffett or Charlie Munger or whoever, they're all like great investors or whatever, but they're not technologists.
It's a blind spot,
It's a blind spot. And the thing they don't understand about the technology is that Bitcoin is the first digital asset to ever be created that you can't create infinite copies of, right? So think about like a song or a photo or a video or whatever, anything that's digital, you've always been able to make an infinite number of copies. Isn't that what the word digital means, is that it's infinitely copyable? So how do you have digital money that can't just be infinitely copied? Obviously, that would destroy the value. And that was the genius of Bitcoin, is that every transaction is written into this ledger. The blockchain is decentralized. And nobody over the last decade or so has figured out how to counterfeit Bitcoin, how to make a duplicate, how to double spend Bitcoin.
Hey, be sure to subscribe to Crypto News Flash for daily content just like this. Stay subscribed, stay informed, stay engaged. I'll catch you tomorrow.